I am back with another fan fiction reading, and this time it's Diner Dash by Kyle Wagner, or maybe it's Wagner. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, it's okay. So this guy has made quite a few really good fan fictions. Or maybe it's a girl. I don't know. I mean, according to the name, it's a guy, but I mean, technically, I really don't know. I'm not gonna say anything else. But there are a few like in here that are actually like there are a few that I had planned to review that are on like my pieces of paper over here, which I had written the names on. And then it's like, oh, whatever. So I'm just using them as reference for things that I wanted to do. Whatever, not gonna worry about it. Anyways, he has like a lot of really good ones, and it may only have 3 parts as it says right there, but it is completed as it says down here. So let's have a little fun, and maybe I'll actually read the description this time. Yang is the owner of a small diner in Beacon County, which is interesting. I didn't think that. I mean, I guess they didn't really go into how each of the I don't know what they called them. I don't know. Whatever. They haven't really talked about how those are divided, which usually they are, because I'm pretty sure they're pretty big, but whatever. One of the few diners to be open to the faunus. When Blake is the last customer there one night, Yang decides the jukebox looks very inviting, which is very interesting. And I will tell you, I like this one a lot. Milkshake kisses. Another slow day today, huh? You tell me. The girl looked around the diner, counting the empty tables and chairs, comparing them to the ones that were filled up. There's a 3-to-1 ratio of empty to full, so I guess so. The girl at the counter sighed, picking up a dirty glass. It's been like this for weeks now. We have enough business to get by, but not nearly enough to start making a living. Yang, ever think that the cause of your problems is that this is one of the only restaurants that allow faunus? Not many people want to see us here, the dark-haired girl replied, sipping her milkshake. Well, if I hadn't decided to do that, Blake, I never would have met some of the coolest customers I've ever seen anywhere, including you, of course. Yang smiled, setting the once dirty glass down next to a cluster of shining, spotless ones. Blake blushed, gulping down some more of her milkshake to hide it. The blush diminished as her cheeks filled with the creamy drink. You make a good point. Yang glanced at the clock, counting the ticks of the second hand as it moved. 3, 2, 1. Dinner rush is now officially over, if you can call it a rush. Oh, don't be so sullen. I'm sure in due time this place will be the most popular diner in Beacon County. I mean, not while we have Schnee's knees around, which is the stupidest name ever. Unless there's actually like some sort of like diner that's called Bee's Knees somewhere, but it's still really stupid. Especially Schnee's knees. Jesus. That place attracts customers like moths to a flame. Yang sighed once more, circling around the counter. She took a seat next to Blake, looking out of the window that circled the whole diner, letting the customers have a near 360-degree view of the beautiful scenery that surrounded the diner. I'm guessing it's closer to like 180 than 360, because like there's still like a kitchen and all that stuff, and there's probably like walls in the way. I mean, conventional design apparently does not work in RWBY land. Conventional design apparently does not work in RWBY canon, or not canon, whatever. I don't know. I'm just messing up. Let's just continue. She watches cars pass by, headlights just coming on as the sun set in the horizon. Customers slowly left, thanking Yang for the wonderful food and service, eventually leaving Blake and Yang alone in the diner, minus RWBY, the head cook. So, Hey Yang, mind if I head home? I promised John I would help him wash his car tonight. He wants to impress this one girl at our school. Says she's a total angel. Not at all, Ruby. I'll close up shop. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. All right. It takes two. Once Ruby left, the diner was completely silent. Yang and Blake sitting side by side. Well, this is one hell of an awkward silence. I think the old jukebox is calling my name, which I will tell you isn't really old because of the different things that happened. To the different features that this jukebox has. Anyways, Yang joked, grabbing a few quarters out of the cash register. You know, to people outside, it might look like you're robbing the place the way you're reaching over the counter. Face. Yang laughed, flipping a quarter over to Blake. Any song you want to hear? Blake jumped off the stool, following Yang over to the neon-colored jukebox in the corner. Actually, I've never used this thing. How many songs are on it? Thousands, millions, even songs from the future. Seriously, how many? Only about 300, but that's not bad, is it? I heard the one over at Shani's Knees has at least 600. Blake approached a jukebox, tapping on the squishy buttons as records passed by slowly, each brandishing a flashy tag of what song was on it. You know, there is a random feature on this one, something that Shani's Knees doesn't have. Oh, really? I think we should try it out then. Oh boy. Blake smirked, dropping a quarter in the machine, pressing the large central button that said the word random in an old western-like font. The machine jumped to life, neon colors blazing and changing, the records flying by as it chose a song to play. No way, it's my favorite song. I never knew it was even on here. Yang cheered, seeing the words "Ain't No Mountain High Enough" popping up as the record began to rotate in the jukebox. Come on, but I don't know how to. The song began to play over the old speakers, flooding the whole room with music. Yang took Blake's hands, leading her slowly as the song began to pick up. Just follow my lead. I promise you won't fall. Yang smiled, placing one hand on Blake's hip. Just hold on. Yang spun Blake out with one arm, then pulled her back quickly. She continued to lead the dark-haired girl through several moves before spinning Blake out once more. Now you're getting the hang of it. I think I just might be. Blake smirked before being the one to spin Yang out without warning, jerking her back into her arms. They were soon chest to chest as the jukebox sputtered, a clicking noise reverberating throughout the diner. Oh cool, I forgot it switched mid-song when you hit random. It's a shame though, we were just getting to the good part. Stand by me. Music began to pick up again. This time it was a slower song. Perhaps I was lying earlier. I do know how to slow dance. I guess you're the teacher now. After you, maestro. Such vocabulary, almost as beautiful as you, Blake teased, leading Yang's arms to her waist. You're hotter than the coffee here, and you know just how hot that is. Ugh. The music began to pick up slowly as Blake led Yang around the diner, their gentle steps not making a sound against the checkered marble floor. The words "Stand by me" repeated over the saw them in the window. You know this song isn't half bad, Yang joked, pulling Blake even closer. Should we play it again? I don't see why not. But I'd prefer not to let go, Blake replied, resting her head against Yang's shoulder. I assume you feel the same way. You couldn't be more right. The song slowed to a halt, the two still slowly circling each other. Yang took one hand and raised Blake's head up to hers, smiling as she saw Blake's blushing face. She leaned down and placed a gentle kiss upon the fondest lips, which was returned eagerly. If asked about it, both girls would say they were in heaven, but neither wanted to part their lips. Eventually, Yang pulled away, both of them breathing heavily. It looks like working the cash register isn't your only strong point, Blake teased, leading her hand down to Yang's arm. Come with me. I think we should continue somewhere more private, per se. Oh boy. It was now Yang's turn to blush as her face turned from a gentle peachy color to a violent red. Oops. Her violet eyes wide with hope and fear. Yang followed the fawners into the back kitchen, the door behind them slamming shut, just like the distance between their lips. That night would be the start of a beautiful relationship full of love and creativity. After all, who knew cinnamon made great lipstick? Oh boy. Well then, that was Diner Dash. Yep. That was, in fact, Diner Dash. Hello? Well then, that was, in fact, Diner Dash by Kyle Wagner. If you want to read this one yourself, it'll be in the description, which I did forget to say in the last episode. But, whatever. It's fine. And especially if you want to check out more of Kyle Wagner's stuff, you can probably just, find it. It's really good. I assume some of these down here are, but I don't for sure know. I would have to actually look at them, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Yeah. That is Diner Dash, and that's where we end. Yep. That's it.